back. Edgerrin James sidesteps one man, spins again. Edgerrin James, a whirling dervish.
Don't try to arm tackle this young man.
This guy's just too strong, too big.
And every down back. You like speed? That's speed.
It looks like he's just running so smooth.
Folks, if you haven't seen this kid play yet, there is nothing about him not to like.
And cost the Bills 55 yards. Here's James. Edgerrin James bouncing off a tackler. Here's James down the sideline, cutting it back.
Goes through the hole with power, running over defenders, through and around defenders.
19 carries, 81 yards. James wants more. Edgerrin James.
Here comes the blitz. Manning gives it to James. And James stays on his feet. And James is finally caught from behind by Sanders. And here comes the Cowboys blitz. And they had the right play call. James to the 10. James out of bounds inside the 5.
Here he feels that thing coming. He waits and waits and then fights him to come. And then just boom, he just dumps it off to Edgerrin James.
Manning chase, gets rid of it. James.
Pumps, goes to Edgerrin James. Beauty. James slips a tackle and is in for the touchdown. Edgerrin James into the secondary. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another.
He has great change of direction. He has innate skills and instincts. He has power.
Manning, dump off. Over the middle, Edgerrin James getting chunks of yardage after the catch. James breaking a tackle, moving forward 4 to 12. Handoff, Edgerrin James through a hole. Huge gainer for James. It's a foot race. James down the sideline into Giants territory, trying to drag him down. The Giants unable to do so at first.
Can't get by Seahorn, so what's he do? He takes him along for the ride. This is what I was talking about Edgerrin James. He will not go down with one tackler. He's always getting positive yardage.
Paul Shields as well. On a handoff, James cutting against the grain, trying to turn it to the outside, making Eagles miss since he's using them. On 3rd and short, James, he's got an opening. Edgerrin James down the sideline. James looking for the end zone. Goodbye. Touchdown. Manning finds James. Cutting it back. James is still on his feet. Edgerrin James. Here's Manning, pump fake. Throwing to the sideline, caught. Touchdown, Edgerrin James.
It's like a 7-on-7 drill, practice drill right now.
Here's the handoff to James on the sweep right. And he eludes a tackle. Still running. Brock Marion kind of gave up on the play. That is a touchdown.
Edgerrin James is as complete a running back as we've seen coming to this league in quite some time.
That's a gain of 21 on 1st and 20. Here's James out of a tackle again. And heading for the 5-yard line and the corner.
Look at this. Look at the open field brilliance, the power of the stiff arm.
Averaging better than 6 per first down. James, another sloppy tackle. Edgerrin James to the 36.
There's the stiff arm again. Zach Thomas can't do it. But when faced with a decision, it's always back to the middle of the field for Edgerrin James.
Here's Manning. That's going to be well out of bounds. Oh, James, what a catch.
And he's just going to reach out and catches with his left hand. He just catches it one-handed, brings it in, puts it in both hands, stays in bounds, and gets across the goal line.
That is amazing.
This is some offense.
7-7 game, midway through third quarter. Screen pass. A lot of room for Edgerrin James. A lot of room at the 5. Touchdown.
Little dump off underneath James. And there goes Edgerrin. He gets a block. And he finally gets flushed out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Manning under center will give it to Edgerrin off the left side. Breaks it to the out. 10, 5, touchdown! He was headed that way, and nobody was going to stop him.
Great train, Edgerrin James.
On the 25 for the Colts. Peyton Manning has thrown 2 interceptions. And this pass floating caught by Edgerrin James down down the side on the Seahawk 26. Here comes the blitz. It's by Bellamy, and he got a hand on James, who swings away. It's a block from Tilder, and a block from Wilkins, and then forced out of bounds. Touchdown!
This tackle right there. Jay Bellamy has him for a loss. Great effort by Edgerrin James to bounce outside. Look at Terrence Wilkins downfield blocking. Takes out 2 defenders.
James, nice block by Tarek Glenn. And a handoff to James, follows the block. What's at stake? Pollard with a lead block. Here he goes. He's got the record. Breaking tackles and chased downfield by Riddick Parker, and puts a stamp and an exclamation mark on what has been a historic day for the Colts organization, and in particular, Edgerrin James.
2nd and 6. James cuts it back. Edgerrin James to the outside. Edgerrin James, he scores.
Edgerrin James, good hole, turns it into a big gainer. Very few seconds on the clock. James takes it outside. Good blocking. Goes to the end zone. Touchdown.
Here's Manning. Shotgun. Pump fake. Timing pattern. A fade. Caught. Touchdown.
Manning will give it to Edgerrin. Bounces outside left. Tries to turn the corner at the 10. At the 5. Touchdown. And he's over 100 yards.
Manning back to throw and drops it out again to James. To the 40, 30, 20. Touchdown, Edgerrin James.
James cuts it back. Edgerrin James still on his feet. Getting great blocking downfield, midfield, and more. Look at him fight for yardage and out of bounds at the Miami 46.
James, first down and more to the end zone. Touchdown. Here's James, left side. 15, 10, still on his feet to the 5. Finally dragged down at about the 2.5-yard line.
Field goal. Peyton Manning on first down. Flips it. Edgerrin James. Long strides for James. Manning has the time. Floats it over the middle to Edgerrin James. James towards the sideline.
They hand it off to James. Following his blocks, Edgerrin James pops it outside, gets down the sideline. James.
Harris to the right. Manning fakes. He throws one down the middle. Edgerrin's got it.
There it is. Manning with time. Edgerrin James, touchdown. Edgerrin James, the deep man in the backfield. He'll get the carry. James picks his way. Touchdown.
Oh, instead he gives it to James, and James straight ahead for the touchdown. This is Edgerrin James, touchdown.
And it's James again, breaking a tackle and going to the end zone. What power by Edgerrin James. He carried 3 men with him into the end zone. And the toss, and James bobbles it, able to control. And he's down on the goal line, and touchdown, Indianapolis.
His longest run this season is just 20 yards. This is now his longest.
Again. Draw play. James on third. Short takes it to the outside. Touchdown.
James, a huge hole. Touchdown. Second half. This is Edgerrin James, and he's into the open at the 20, 15, 10, 5 to the 3-yard line. Game. He gets the call again, goes outside. He's got his 100 and more, including 6 points on the touchdown.
Manning. James. Gets by Mitchell. Got by Barty. Breaks a tackle of Wesley, and with an entourage including Clark, Edgerrin James is finally brought down by Warfield inside the Kansas City 10. Some outstanding blocking and running, 57 yards on the catch and run. 1st and goal, Colts. Got pain since he went out injured. Handoff to Edgerrin James. Look at him dancing. Stiff arm his way by Marcus Coleman. Chased by Sharper. Stiff arms his way.
Manning hands it off to Edgerrin James. He spins out of trouble with running room. Sidesteps one man, spins again. Edgerrin James, a whirling dervish. Edgerrin James down inside the 40-yard line. And that's the Edgerrin James of old, a gain of 35. Edgerrin James, watch out. It's a foot race. McQuarters has the angle. And Edgerrin James, here's Edgerrin James just shredding through the Chicago Bears badly. Meanwhile, Edgerrin James running hard, and James scores a touchdown.
Covers that ball, gets that shoulder down. Now, he had first contact at the 5-yard line, but he has been phenomenal today.
To the end zone. No, Edgerrin James. Touchdown, Colts.
Saturday with the snap. Manning to James. Edgerrin James chased into the end zone for a touchdown.
Look at him find the hole. Still on his feet. All the way to the 20 and dragging Parrish to the 14-yard line.
Tight end is right on the stretch. They give it to Edgerrin. Bounces it outside. 5. Gets back in. Touchdown, Edgerrin James.
James cutting back, and Edgerrin James goes in.
Well, second half, I guess.
Here is Edgerrin James breaking it. Look at this guy. Talk about his patience. He just kind of eased along the sideline. And let Marcus Coleman come over and then put a move on him. Got 5 more yards.
That is all Edgerrin James.
What patience, Edgerrin James.
James picks his way, touchdown.
You know, you've got some moves when tacklers are colliding from every which angle.
Goes to the end zone, touchdown.
He said that was unbelievable. This guy is unbelievable.